this one, like, I haven't really practiced too much how to actually say or communicate this concept, but I will try. Okay. So the thing with unconditional love, like for example, the love between a parent and a child, right? It's that like once a woman carries the baby in her womb, like for 9 months, you know what I'm saying? Like her food is their food, her air is their air. Whatever she drinks, the baby drink too, you know? Once you carry someone in your belly for 9 months and you literally birth them out into the world, like yes, yeah, I do find it true that no matter what they do, what the child does, you will always love them. Like you will always have love for them. You know, even if you end up separating for whatever reason, you know, things don't work out. You're like, oh, sorry about that. I did not mean that to happen. Or like you're an estranged parent or something. Like I do think that will probably be the that would be a case when the phrase unconditional love can be taken literally, like you know the love for a parent to a child, right? But then there's another example with there's these YouTube creators I love to watch. I think they're back now. Yeah, don't mind me, they are back now. They're Josh and EC, and one day on their podcast episode, they said like they were talking about this, and they were like, if we were to break up, like, would you still love me? Something like that. I don't know. It was just something like that, right? Oh yes. So it was like even if one of them started treating the other badly or dismissing them, neglecting them, gaslighting, all that kind of stuff, they're like, would you still love me? So that's when the topic of unconditional love came up. And one of them has said, like, look, if how you're treating me starts to be a detriment to my health, we will break up. Like, you know, hate to think of it, but we will break up, but I will still have love for you. You see? That's the distinction I'm getting at. Like, how people treat you versus how people feel about you. You see what I'm saying? And like there was this other guy, forgive me if I already mentioned him, but there was this other guy, Stefan Speaks, and he was making an argument saying how you know how they say like love is an action, like it's a verb, not a noun, like you know, some kind of argument like that. And he said, no, love is a feeling. It's the feeling in your heart you have for someone. And whatever, forgive me if I misquote him. You guys get the point, right? So he was saying that, what did he say? Something like if they fall out of love, it was never love anyway, blah, 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 whatever. He's on the side that once you have the sentiment of love towards someone, then that counts as love. But to me, no, it has to be the action because there's a lot of people who say they love you, but they don't treat you properly, you know? Like, you know, that's happened to me, you know? Like, there's people who will swear up and down. They will swear up and down. They will get up on a statue and proclaim it to the world about they love you. But the real question is, okay, how do they treat you? And that's when concepts or phrases like unconditional love become misleading or dangerous or destructive because you cannot let someone love you or let someone claim to love you if their treatment doesn't back it up, because that's only at a detriment to yourself. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a nice idea, but it only really applies in very specific situations. Like I said, maybe like a mother to a child, right? And there's even mothers who um, have to distance themselves from their kids for their own whatever sanity, you know, or kids who must distance themselves from their mothers for their own health and well-being. So anyway, um, what I'm saying is just that this concept should not be romanticized or idealized, and that it only truly exists under very, very specific circumstances, right? Because if it's, um, yeah, like, because for me, there should be conditions for you to love someone. There should absolutely be conditions, or, sorry, correction. There should be conditions for you to stay with someone, right? Because at the end of the day, how you're being treated, like, matters, you know? Um, what is it I can think of? Like, there's people who have told me about I think I said this example earlier, but I'll say it again because you know it needs to be said. There's people who have told me like they've been with the same person for years, right? They've known them such a long time, and they're not married yet, right? And for certain people, again, this is circumstantial. For certain people, this would not be a problem, right? It just depends on what you want, right? Some people want kids. Some people want to get married. Some people want to start a business together. I don't know. I'm just throwing out examples, right? So, for example, if you are married and, you're with someone a long time, but you're not married, right? And you want to be, right? No matter how much they love you, no matter how well they treat you, they open the door for you, they bought you a car, I don't care. No matter how well they treat you, like emotionally, physically, mentally, materially, if you're not getting what you want in that relationship, see, so you can see my hands. If you're not getting what you want, and what you want is to be married, then you are wasting your time. You see what I'm saying? Because somewhere in the world, there's someone who will give you all of that and more. Literally, all of that and more. And they won't even make you say anything. They won't even make you bring it up. They won't even make you think of how to bring it up, because that's already their intentions with you. Like, that's already how they intended to treat you. That was never a question in their mind that they got married, right? Meanwhile, there's other people who you have the same conditions met, like they treat you. Wait, what? Sorry, I get myself confused. But anyway, then there's other people who been together a long time and they're just waiting around like, when we're gonna get married? When we're gonna get married? When we're gonna get married? And that's when you have the concept of the shut up ring and, like, all those kind of stuff, where it just like devolves, right? And it's like a very unfortunate situation. But the reality of the thing is, you cannot make people see your value. I don't care how many times I have to say it. I don't care if I already said it. So listen up. Don't at me if I already said this, because it needs to be said. Like, you cannot make people see your value. You cannot make people treat you correctly, right? Like, meaning, like, you cannot force them. Like, I understand that people say, what's it called? Teach people how to treat you. But, and I get it. It applies. Just bear with me here. It applies. However, like, it applies to an extent. Like, however, there's people who don't need to be taught. Think about that. There's people who don't need to be taught. There's people who see you, and because of their own integrity and their own, like, seeing of your worth, that you don't have to teach them nothing. They immediately come correct. They immediately, like, treat you how you want to be treated. You're like, oh my God, wow, they can read my mind. It's like, they're not even reading your mind. They're just reading, like, reacting based on the value and, like, worth that they see in you, and you didn't have to teach them nothing. You didn't have to show them, oh my God, my car is clean, and I get my nails done every month, and I pay my mortgage on time every time. Like, let me stop leading into the screen too much, right? Let me make it closer. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny, because there's other people that you don't have to prove anything to. You just show up, you just appear, and then, like, oh my God, the sun has arrived. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, with like that story with Nick said when he met Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, and he said when he met her, the second he saw her, he was like, went on his knees. He was like, oh my God, where has she been all my life, right? And people say, like, whether it's true or not, he just exaggerated. I don't care, right? It don't matter. The point is, he saw her, and from the moment he saw her, he knew, he's like, oh my God, like, this is a woman. And then he knew, like, this is the woman that he wants, right? Like, there's people who you don't have to explain that to. And also, yeah, I am of the, of the sentiment, of the side that, yes, relationships should come with conditions. Like, how when they have those webtoons where, what is it, like, they get made for convenience, and they're like, oh, la, 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 la. He's cute, they do all the romantic thing, whatever. That's all well and done. But the people I really respect are the people who make a contract. They literally write up, like, here are the terms and conditions of our agreement, or whatever. Or, like, what's that girl, Lana Condor and Noah Centineo in the To All the Boys I Loved Before, the first one, like they write up a list. Yeah, that's actually smart to do. But like, I'm not being harsh. I'm not trying to be harsh, but like, you have feelings, right? And then you have this, how you're actually being treated, and both of them need to be covered. Like, you need to have all them bases covered, because you don't want to run away with your feelings and then miss this part, which is what you actually want in life. What are you getting out of this relationship? Where do you want the end goal to be? You see what I'm saying? Just like I said, don't waste your time with someone who don't want to marry you if you're someone who wants to get married. Don't waste time with, I'm doing this with my fingers, I'm counting off. Don't waste time with someone who doesn't want kids and you want kids. Like, you want to start a family. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why we have non-negotiables. They exist for a reason. They are not to be negotiated. I get it. People say, oh, there's exceptions to the rule. Whatever. I'm speaking generally, and it still applies. Anyway. So yeah, like, even if you're in a romantic relationship and you love the flip out of that person, like feelings-wise, you love the flip out of them, you should still be getting something out of it. Like, you should, well, besides just being treated properly, obviously, like, that's the baseline. I will talk about that later, about why that baseline is still, why that baseline feels extraordinary. But anyway, so you're being treated well. What was I saying? Basically, I'm saying, like, the love is not enough. Basically, like, that's what I'm saying. Because a lot of times we get carried away with our feelings. And you know, I'm the first person to say, listen to your feelings. They're there for a reason. I absolutely do. But also, the logic and the emotion gotta go hand in hand. They gotta be like this, or like this, or like this. But if they're like this and you have a huge gap, or if they're like this and you have a huge gap, no, honey, like, we need to reconsider, right? Because that's my pet peeve, is the people whose logic is all the way up here and their emotion is all the way down here. I don't like anybody like that, right? Both need to be considered. At least stay in this kind of range. Logic here, emotion here, or emotion here and logic here. You know, something where they can be in balance, like coexisting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, no matter how much feelings you have for a person, you still need to mind your goals in life. What do you want out of this relationship? Like, you still need to mind the logistics. You know what I'm saying? It's like when, what did they say, like the stay-at-home girlfriends or something? Those girls still make sure they got their money in the bank account. They have money saved up. If anything happens, they can still afford their own apartment. Like, they're not dumb. Like, what do you think this is? I don't care. I do not care, because like sometime a while ago, people were getting jealous of those girls and criticizing them and saying about how they perpetuating these systems, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, bro, what if the woman just wants a break? She can get a break, and nobody said she wasn't prepared. I'm just saying, like, be in love, sure, go enjoy that, but also be prepared. Like, you know, have your stuff in a row, have your savings, have your, and it's not like nobody's ever said this before. This is not a brand new revolutionary idea. It's just a reminder that, like, the logistics still matter. Logistics still need to be taken care of. What you want still needs to be addressed. Just having feelings for someone is not enough. Yeah, keep that in mind. So yeah, the right love does come with conditions, and those conditions are honored and upheld the entire time, on top of you just being loved and having feelings for the person, like mutually and whatever.